project in terms of tax incentives is somewhere in the order of $100 million. We don't know how much that's cost us because the Prime Minister argued this position that helped Warner Brothers in the negotiation. We don't know how much it added to the bill to the New Zealand taxpayer. We know that it didn't help New Zealand in the negotiations to have the Prime Minister assisting Warner Brothers by undermining the trade union assurance that there would be industrial peace. Why would the Prime Minister do that? It doesn't make any sense. If this is the great negotiator, if our Prime Minister is the great trader, the great negotiator, and I accept that he has a lot of experience, why would he take a position which assists the other side? It isn't logical. Unless, of course, the National Party actually wanted to weaken industrial relations legislation anyway. And of course that is the sad truth at the heart of all of this. National are happy to weaken industrial relations legislation and make it harder for workers in the film industry than it is currently. And that's the tragedy at the centre of this. The last thing I want to say, Mr Speaker, is, and I'd like to say this to Labor and National actually, there is a logic to free trade and globalisation. When you embrace a free trade and globalisation agenda, sometimes you find yourself dealing with a company like Warner's that is mobile globally, a mobile capital, dealing with nation-states that are trying to deal with a mobile capital. And so the free trade globalisation agenda has made it harder for us in these kind of negotiations. It puts us in a more difficult position. When we embarked down this globalisation pathway, the Greens and others had a lot of criticisms of this pathway, and what we said is that it strengthens global capital and weakens nation-states. And what we've seen in the last 48 hours is a graphic demonstration of that reality, of the difficulty nation-states have in negotiating with these global giants. Because I do accept it was a difficult position. The government made a mess of it, but it was a difficult position. So I would say to those who have embraced the free trade globalisation agenda, think about the logical outcome of that particular strategy and the difficulty it puts democratically elected nation-states in vis-à-vis globally mobile capital. Thank you, Mr Speaker.